So you want to enter a show, a Tika show. I'm going to show you in this short video how to use our new system, create an account if you've never done so, add cats to your account, all that good stuff. So when you're on the tika.org website, in the upper right, click on Login. Now we've got two different login systems. First, which is called MyTika, including TOES. So this was formerly known as a TOES program. It used a separate website, but now Tika is leasing it, so it's part of the tika.org website. So this is show services. Down below, TDS. This is a separate login. Again, it uses the former, if you've had an account before, your former login username, and this is where you would register cats, register a litter, perform those type of services. Okay, we're going to talk though in this video about doing a show. So you want to enter a show, you want to use MyTika. If you have not created an account, if you have not created an account before, you're going to come down here and click sign up, and you're going to go ahead and fill out some information. Your first, last name, pick a username, can be whatever you'd like. If it's already in use, it'll let you know. And then put in your email address. I've just created a kind of a temporary address. Password, pick whatever you'd like it to be. This is just my fake account, so I'm not too worried about it. But you won't be creating a fake account. You'll be creating a real account. So please be sure you write down, save that password somewhere so you don't forget. Although if you forget, there is a forgot password button back on the home page. Okay, and then phone number, I'm just gonna put in anything here because I'm doing a fake account. Look up your address so you can put in, allow it to locate you. Again, I'm just gonna create a fake account. Now, because I created a fake account, it's not recognizing it. This is tied to Google Maps, however. So when you start to enter your actual address, it should find you when so you want to look up the address first, and then it'll auto-populate down below. Or if you just want to type in your address like I did, that's fine too. Tika region, I'm in the Great Lakes. If you're unsure what region you are in, you'll want to go back to the tika.org, this new website across the top here, and determine that. Down here at the bottom, you need to accept the privacy and GDPR policy. You can read more about those if you'd like by clicking there, and then click sign up. And I'll let it save my password. All right, so as it says here, the sign-up's been complete. An email with further instructions has been sent to that email. Please check your email to be able to finish the process. So I'm just going to open up my email. Again, I just opened this little temporary account here for this purpose. And right here, from the International Cat Association, my sign-up request is pending approval, but that really means my approval. I need to confirm my email address. And so again, here's kind of my basic information, the email address I'm using for this test account, my name, username. Doesn't show your password for obvious reasons, I hope. When you're ready, though, to confirm and finish the setup of your account, click on this link and give it a minute. And now I'm active. I can log in. Okay, so let me go back to the login. It was... oops, I already forgot what it was. Test account Liz. There we go. And my password. And if you wanted to remember you can click that box. I'm not going to do that at this point because I have a real account. I want it to remember. And then down here, here's that if you forgot any part of your login. If you forgot your username or if you forgot your password, you can click there and walk through that process. Okay, click login. You can let it save or not save, it's up to you. Okay, so here's my kind of test account, all sorts of information here in case I need to see this again or any of that. If I want to edit any of it, let's say I typed in a wrong address, I realized I had a typo, things like that, add a picture, you can select edit and then update your profile. Okay, now I want to enter a show, right? All right, so click on My Tika. This My Tika only appears when you're actually logged in the system. Otherwise, the menu at the top will end after online services. So My Tika, and then I want to go to one of two things. You can go to My Toes Cats or Show Calendar. So My Toes Cats, that's where it would list any cats I own that I've put in the system. Again, you have to put them in this system. As of yet, the system is not linked to TDS, so you have to manually add your cats. Cats you've bred, cats you're leasing, or cats you're agenting. Most people have a long list under cats I own, and then these other 3 sections may be blank altogether. All right, so I'm going to add a cat to my account. I'm going to leave the registration number pending. This is just a test account here, test kitty. Select breed. Now I'm going to run this as a household pet, because I don't actually want to enter a pedigree cat, but you can. There's not much difference in the process. You would select your breed. Now, as confusing as this is, but this is the way it works, even if you have a household pet that is not a pedigree cat, you still need to select it from the breed down here. And so, like, let me just kind of, there we go, shortcut to household pet. Click that. If your household pet is still a kitten, meaning it's under 8 calendar months of age, you still want to select household pet. All right, date of birth. Let's give my kitty a good date of birth. I don't know, let's say it was January 18 of 18. Because it's an adult, it has to be a spay or neuter. Let's call him a neuter. If you know a microchip or tattoo number, you can put that here. It's optional. If you'd like to put a picture of your kitty, this just saves within your account. You can do that, but you don't have to. Down here, this information I need to have. Okay, so if you have an EMS code, you can type it in here and it will help you with the color. If you've got a registration paper, certificate on your cat already, you have this information in terms of what color it is written out. Not the code, but the actual words. But mine's pending, so I don't have my registration, so let's just pick something. I've got a long hair. And I've got a tortie. So a tortoise shell is going to fall under traditional, tortie, division, and she is a black tortie. So what you'll notice is if you don't select the right category, you won't get the correct list of options for division. And if you don't pick the right division, you won't get the right color. So you have to do it in that order. You need to know your color. So my cat, my little made-up kitty, is a black tortie. And I need to know that's in the traditional category under the tortie division. If at any time you're unsure of what this is, please reach out to an entry clerk and ask. Okay, now for my name. My kitty's never been shown, so she doesn't have any titles. I leave that blank. For prefix, she, again, hasn't been shown, so she has no titles. Suffix, he's not an outstanding sire. Household pets can't be anyways. And so now let's just call this test kitty male. Competitive region is Great Lakes. Okay, sire and dam. This only applies to pedigree cats. So since this is just a household pet, I'm not going to put that. But if you had a pedigree cat that you were putting in the system, you would list the sire along with any Tika titles that the sire has. And you'd list the dam, again, along with any Tika titles that the dam might have. I am the registered owner. It's a household pet, so by default it will list NA, as there shouldn't be a breeder of a household pet. And then down here, and this kind of seems like it's a bit in duplicate. Just so you know, up here under Tika registrations, this is what will show up in the catalog, what you have typed here. Down here under people, this is where if you have someone that, let's say, is the breeder or maybe a co-owner, you want to find their account here and then either link them as an owner. Again, for household pet, you wouldn't link a breeder. But let me find my actual account. So my name is Liz Hanson, Chemacoons, and I would say, let's say I'm a co-owner of myself. That seems a little strange, but I think you get the point. So again, if there's co-owners, and you do this so that the co-owner could enter the cat in a show, and it would show up as a cat that that person owns as well, or a breeder or agent, or if you're leasing a cat. So this is down here under people, this is what links this particular cat to another user's account in Toes Here under TICA registrations, this is what you type in terms of, if I had two owners, let's say Susie Smith or Jane Doe, even better. How about that? Jane Doe. Okay. If there were two of us as owners, I'd list both of us here. This goes in the catalog, and then down here, down here I'd want to look up Jane Doe and link as an owner. Clearly Jane Doe doesn't exist in the system, or it would have dropped down. And let me fix that. When you're all done, come to the bottom right-hand corner, click Save. And now here's my kitty. Test Kitty Mail is in my account. I can go ahead and enter a show. Now, registration number is pending. You can show one time with a pending registration number. Once you have the number, you need to log back in the system, come back into your toes or your toes cats, and when you're ready, or if you think you've made a mistake or need to change something on a cat, you come back into your details here and click on the piece of paper with a pencil icon that says Edit Cat. And it would open the information back up. You could actually type in at this point, a household pet registration number, and you could go from there. Okay. Again, I'm going to leave it as pending. And you can't forget to click Save. Okay, now I'm ready to actually enter Test Kitty in a show. So this is the way I access the shows. Under Clubs, click Show Calendar. And then I'm going to find a show that I am a part of so that I can delete this later. So I'm going to pick this Columbus, Ohio show. Click on to open the details, read about the show. Click here to complete a summary sheet. If you're not familiar with our system, many, but not all clubs require exhibitors to not only use the system for their entries here, but you complete a summary sheet, which would ask for your name, address. This is where the prices are, and you also reserve the space. Most clubs require exhibitors to do both processes. But be careful, doing even just one commits you to the show. So even if you just do a summary sheet, but you never enter, you're committed to that show and that club for the monies. Or if you do entries in this system here, you're committed to the club. So be careful, but again, don't be surprised if you didn't do a summary sheet that you get a message from the entry clerk saying, please complete the summary sheet. As far as the details go in the system, some clubs have a lot of details in this particular system, some don't. Some you have to go to the club website or the summary sheet to get the prices or the specifics. This club has quite a bit of details listed just within this system, but there's always a show flyer link here at the very bottom of the box for each show that you can click on to access more details. Okay, but we're ready to enter our cat. So you come down here in this box within the box where it says your current entries, and right now I have nothing entered in the show. I want to add an entry, however. So I want to enter, I only have one kitty right now in my system, that's Test Kitty Mail. Now if I realized, oh wait, I have another kitty I want to enter, but it's not listed here. Well, that's because you've not added it to your account. You can do the process I just showed you, or you can click right here, add a new cat, to add another cat to the system and then into the show. So let's just stick with my Test Kitty Mail for now. Click Next. I know for sure that's the kitty I want to enter, and you can pick what days you want to enter the show. This is a 3-day show. Let's just say I'm going to enter these 2 days. Click Next. It again verifies this is the cat I'm entering. These are the days I'm choosing to enter. If I made a mistake, let's say I wanted to enter all 3 days. You can just click the previous button and go back and fix that. Test Kitty Mail now, entered all 3 days. Participating in the TICA rings. He's not for sale, and I don't have an agent, so I'll leave those blank. Click Next. Down here, I need to enter how many double spaces for cages I need. This is a bring your own cage show, so yes, I'll be bringing my own. And then I also want a grooming space. If I have a benching request, I'm just going to leave it as Jane Doe. Benching request is another person, another exhibitor who you believe or you know is in the show. you would put their name right here on benching request. And then if you have anything else in terms of comments for the entry clerks, it can be about cages, it can really be about anything. If you have any comments for the entry clerk, a message, leave that there. And then down here, you need to have read and accepted the TICA show rules. And again, this confirms that I'm entering the show. I recognize this is a commitment to the club. Whether I decide not to attend, if I'm unable to attend, if I just change my mind, whatever it is, you're still committed to the show. Click that box that you have accepted the show rule. There's some further information right there about that. And then click Save. And now, takes me back to the beginning of this particular show's information, but if I scroll down your current entries, now I have Test Kitty Mail, he's entered in the show. So you can always verify what you have entered in the show. Just log in the system, open the calendar for that particular show in question and check and see, hey, did I enter that show? Well, you can check yourself. Something else to show you real quick. Let's say you're not sure who you're going to enter yet in a show, but you know and you're ready to make a commitment to this club that you're going to enter a cat, or 2 or 3 or 4. You can click Add a Placeholder, select the days you want to enter. Let's say now, okay, I've got a few more cats, now I'm going to need some more spaces, maybe even you need 3. Accept the show rules. Notice it still retained the other information that I had before because I've already entered the show. You're able to change how many cage spaces. You can change any of it at this point, but it retains the information that you previously entered by default. Click Save. And now I have, let's take a look, I've got my Test Kitty Mail and a placeholder in the show. When you're ready to convert your placeholder, and if you don't do it, you'll start hearing from the entry clerks to please convert your placeholders. Here's how you convert. You log in, open up the show in question, and you'll see that you have a placeholder as an entry in the show, and you click these 2 arrows that are in a circle that says Convert to Entry. Now, I've already got Test Kitty Mail in the show. I would need a second cat in my account, and I would just select that other cat. Again, at this point, I don't have another cat to enter, so I would have to add, let's say, Test Kitty Female. I'd have to add a new cat to the account to be able to enter a second cat in the show. And you'd work through the process that way. If I click Add a New Cat, you can see it brings me back to the screen. And the great thing is, once I'm back at this screen, even though I'm kind of doing this through that one particular show, it will add the cat to your account. You won't have to do this again at a later date. Okay? I'm going to skip this because I'm not going to add another entry in the show. And then one last thing, I wanted to come back to my little test email account here and show you that you get emails. And these are really important. When you enter a show, you get this automated do not reply, but please note you've been entered in this particular show. Here's the cat you've entered, and then once the entry clerk processes the confirmation, you'll get another one. And the additional email will come still from tika.org, but it'll have your official confirmation with a total due, or maybe you've already paid. It will show you're paid in full, and you always want to check those confirmations very carefully for errors. You are responsible for the information being correct, and if not, you need to either change it in the system or you need to contact the entry clerk and ask for some help. So speaking of that, let's say you realize Test Kitty Male was really supposed to be Test Kitty Female. So you want to be, again, logged in the system, click on My Tika, My Toes Cats, and I need to change the gender. And even if I've entered a show, that's okay. I'll tell you two things to be sure you do. One is come back in the system and change the gender. And don't forget, click Save. Whoops, scroll to the bottom and click Save. You want to make sure, though, that if the confirmation's already been sent by the entry clerk, that the entry clerk recognizes that you made some change to your cat. So just send them an email, make sure that they know. And here's most important, when you get to the show, verify in the show catalog that it has the correct information. If not, when you get to the show, let the master clerk know immediately that there's an error so they